And in the commentary box, let's get to Carl, and afternoon to Phil Yates.
Afternoon, Rachel. Yeah, Shane Van Boening. So much has been written, so much has been said about this man. Quite simply, in my opinion, he is the best. But that doesn't mean to say he's not going to struggle in this match, because Duong, Quoc, Hoang from Vietnam has played really nice pool from the beginning this week. And one thing, he will not be hindered in the slightest by the shot clock. He plays at a very handy clip, and that 30 seconds per shot will not be an issue for him. As for Shane Van Boening, in terms of the time clock, he is completely used to it. It's second nature. He's played in so many big matchroom events over the years.
Well, he does have a shot at the 2. You can see he's striking down on the cue ball because he's got to try and stop the cue balls a lot of distance. Oh, he's hit that absolutely sweet as an upfell. First shot. What a beauty.
All week's been the same. He started off beating Chris Melling 9-8. Then he lost 9-8 to Chang Junlin. No disgrace there. Followed up with wins over Thomas Kaplan, Loho Som, and then to get here, he beat Wojciech Szewczyk 11-1. He's a man in prime form. '73rd in the world 9-ball rankings. The way he plays, you have to assume he is going to rocket up from there.
Wants the cue ball to bounce a little here, and it hasn't. So now he's got some work to do to get back for this 6 ball.
Cue ball close, but to Hoang's great relief, not in. He doesn't tip, he doesn't tap, this fellow, Carl. He lets the cue go, and he plays some expansive and attractive pool. He's positive, and I think that's the way to potentially beat the title holder.
Yeah, and he was actually mindful that the arena centre court stage has changed a lot, because the last match we pretty much seen a 90% packed house, sat in all the chairs. Obviously watched in Victor Scalizia, who unfortunately lost, so now most of the crowd have come to the edge of the arena, which is still very close to the main table, to watch Sebastian Butkowski's match. The last remaining hope. Obviously people have gone for a drink and stuff like that.
Well, I tell you, if Hoang continues to play like that, his drink on Sunday night will be champagne. That was terrific. Mind you, he's got a tough task to overcome Shane Van Boening over a race to 11. 39 years of age now, so still very much at the peak of his powers. He was champion last year, of course, the South Dakota kid. He's won over 100 tournaments, including one in 2023, just last week, actually. The Bigfoot Challenge, the 10-ball at the Derby City Classic. Been there, done that, Carl, and in terms of experience, no one in the field has more.
No, it's a case of the usual suspects here on day 4. Last 16 action, and obviously tonight we've got the quarterfinals, so after the day's play we will know who our final 4 players are. Got to be a little bit careful with that break. You may get pulled if there's a couple more of them. It's a It's edging on the softer side. Let's have another look. A little bit. And this is what can happen, Phil. You know, sometimes you can just be sat in your chair watching your opponent break and run. Got to try and get this cue ball back out away from the 7, the brown 7. And he has done. It's a little short of pace, this. It's going to be tricky to get back on this purple 5. And it's gone wrong.
He played that with extreme check side, but it wasn't enough.
Looking at the jump shot, don't really like that play. Could play a 2-rail kick and try and pop the 5 in the bottom left. But it's not
extension, please.
So just a reminder, if you're watching us for the first time, it's a 30-second shot clock with one 30-second extension per player per rack, and Hoang taking that extension right here, understandably so. Intently watching that was our referee, Desislava Boshalova. Now, you were mentioning the break off there from Hoang, which might have been, in your opinion, Carl, borderline. Well, Desislava warned Aloysius Yap about a less than robust break in his match against Chris Melling yesterday. So if she feels as though the balls aren't being hit hard enough, she will step forward.
Well, I don't think his English is too clever, so you might not understand what the ref's trying to say. Cue ball scratched, I think. Yes, it was always going towards that corner, so
Go in hand.
the opening 2 racks not
Start the
really
clock,
going
please.
the way of SVB.
His first 3 matches in this championship were a breeze. 9-2, 9-2, 11-2. But to get here, to beat Aloysius Yap, he was extended to the full. Excellent shot making in the last 3 racks to win 11-9. And I personally believe Hoang will pose a real threat here. Slightly awkward cueing this, but right into the heart of the pocket. And so the outsider, but he's a very capable player, Hoang, leads Shane van Boening 2-0. Now let's just pop over to table 2, which is quite well advanced. Oh, a really good attempt there to knock in the 9 ball, but it backfired because now Mario He has got the 8 and 9 to draw level at 4-4 against John Morra. Every time I see John play, I feel very old, because I remember when his father Mario used to play on the snooker circuit.
Before I forget,
when you give your extension calls,
Well,
just give them to me. 'Cause
you
if I don't
are a
know
little
it,
bit old, Phil. I mean, I don't mean to
yes, of
ruin
course.
your day.
It's factually correct, Carl. I can't dispute it. Back to table 1. We'll keep you informed, of course, about all of the outside table action. I can tell you, on table 3, Mohamed Soufi from Syria has taken the opener against Sebastian Badkowski. So that 13-strung Polish contingent at the start of the week has been whittled down to just Sebastian.
Oh, I think there's going to be words here, mate. I think there's going to be words. It is. I mean, the fact that he's come up dry might just keep Desi stalling a little bit longer, but it's a little bit soft.
Calling a player for a soft break clearly is subjective, but you can see it, I can see it. It looks nailed on, she should say something to me.
Yeah, and if you sat there with your cup of tea watching and you're wondering what we mean about the soft break, it's just kind of players' code on the circuit, on the world tour. Years ago you could play and you could soft break, and it's just not what the players want. We feel it's bad for the game, so there's like an unwritten rule.
Of course, yesterday in the first session, when Desislava warned Aloysia Shap, previous to that, Chris Melling had actually approached her and said he thought he was breaking soft, Yap that is, and then the warning was issued at the end of the following rack. SVB hasn't made that kind of intervention here. Now, we've just heard a cheer from table 3 that might merit someone getting over the line. In fact, it's Sebastian Badkowski winning the second rack against Mohamed Soufi to make it 1-1 in a race to 11. That's the enthusiasm of the Polish fans.
Yeah, unfortunately, he is the last remaining Polish player on paper. He wouldn't have been the name we would have picked, in fairness. But he's there.
Yeah, very different from when we had the World Masters here in the town of Kielce in 2012, when it was an all-Polish final. Just dug into that cue ball a little because he was slightly stretching, and consequently he's come up well short of ideal position on the 8.
Yeah, and this is a big moment for Shane, because over the years he'll be the first to admit if he makes a couple of mistakes early on and the opponent starts to punish. I think he's playing this in the other pocket, bottom right pocket.
Plonked almost on the halfway line again.
Yeah, this will probably go in the bottom left just because there's a bit more of an angle. You can see the way the sat. Big moment coming up for the defending champ.
That one saw nothing but pocket, and so Shane van Boening, having lost the first couple of racks, gets one on the board direct from Hoang's dry break in the third. Now, we heard that big cheer a few moments ago. This is what created it. Sebastian Badkowski changing hands, turning from right to left-hander. And from there, he was always going to pot the 9 ball. Nevertheless, it was warmly appreciated. 1-1. So the two matches away from the main arena are both tied up. Batkovsky and Sufi 1-1. He and Mora 4-4. And here, SVB hoping to tie this one up too.
You can clearly see the difference in the two breaks. Shane's absolutely crunching the cut break. That's where his opponent is electing for a little softer one.
Not a bad split here. He's just been a little unlucky that the 6-ball will hamper queuing. That will make the pot a little more difficult and of course restrict what he can do cue ball wise.
Yeah, I was speaking to Alex Laley yesterday and he was telling me he was at an event in Europe somewhere. Shane was there, and on the first day they was hitting balls together, and he said when Shane was playing he wasn't really playing the game the normal way, he just kept going for crazy shots. And I think what he means is by Shane doing that, he's like preparing himself for that one big shot that you're faced with in the game of 9-ball.
Against Yap, he was so attacking from start to finish. Even under the gun when the match went tight towards the end, he did not compromise his shot selection process. Not saying he was reckless, I'm not saying that. But when he could attack and there was value, he did.
Looks like he's going to play 3 rails with a cue ball, shoot the green 6 up into the top right. Yeah, here we go, this looks good. Doesn't want to be straight, wants some form of angle. He's obviously landed straight. You can tell from a player's mannerisms. Needs a cue ball to slow down. This could be problems, because if he's potting it in the corner, the cue ball's going to go near the left centre.
Yeah, and with that cue ball tucked under the side cushion, not an awful lot he can do.
Pay attention to the cue ball. Oh, he's going to be okay, is it? Yeah, he's just sort of got there. A little bit fortunate. Could have gone anywhere. May have to play another cannon of some form or try and sneak behind the 9. Let's have another look. Maybe he can dig into it while he's looking at a cannon. But it could have been a lot worse. Whenever you're bumping into a ball, you never know where it's going to land. Has it run a little far for the cut? Well, he feels like he can cut it in.
He got the line, but not the pace. How about that? The 9 hanging unmissably on the lip.
Whoa.
What a turn of events. Duong Quoc Hoang takes a 3-1 lead, the title holder, Shane van Boening. But the great man left the 9-ball short there when, Carl, there might have been an alternative.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, Phil, because he's missed it. You often talk about what could have been or what shot. He could have played a bank shot, that was very easy. But the bottom line is, he just didn't hit it hard enough, and he's in early stage problems in this match. Because Duong Quoc Hoang, he's been playing some good pool this week.
Hoang to break.
Yeah, while you were away,
3-1.
Mario He regained the lead against John Mora at 5-4. And Mohamed Sufi went 2-1 up on Sebastian Batkovsky. In the side, the 1 goes, the 2 lays up nicely, the 3 in the open. Bingo.
Yeah, this is the problem, because you're playing winner breaks. SVB makes a huge error. How much punishment is he going to gain? If you're hearing the noise from table 3, that's because Sebastian Batkowski has tied the match up. This is why I'm a big fan of the winner break as well, Phil. Because if you're playing alternate break and Shane misses the 9 and the next break just so happens to be his break because it's the alternate, he may break, he could make a golden, he could have an easy layout. So the mistake he's made, you can almost forget about it. I've seen it happen so many times. You know, you miss an easy ball, then it's your break.
Well, you're preaching to the converted, you know. I'm a big advocate of the winner breaks as well. I think in the Mosconi Cup, when it's race to 5, those matches has to be alternate. But in these kind of events, winner breaks for me, all day, every day.
Well, the world champ himself will always tell you it should be winner breaks. And now he's in a situation here where he's going to have to come with some form of package, because it's looking likely he's going to be 4-1 down.
And of course, the winner of this plays Wu Kunlin from Chinese Taipei, who earlier today edged Max Lechner 11-9. That will be in the quarterfinals, when things will be really, really serious, as they are right now.
Yeah, he joins Chang Zhonglin, also from Chinese Taipei, in the quarterfinals. Chang, well, one day he's going to snap one of these off, Phil. He's a cool operator, that man.
Chang's next opponent will be either Dennis Grabber or Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, who have yet to start their last 16 encounter.
Got a little bit of angle, but that's not ideal. That is not ideal at all. Can't really go forward and play the 9 down the rail. Is he playing a stun draw shot off 2 rails back? That's what he's played. He's okay. So it is going to be 4-1.
And the thing is, Carl, he's got the ammunition to build on this.
Yeah, he's got the game.
Quoc, Quoc.
What a scoreline. Shane van Boening experiencing early issues. 4-1 down to a Vietnamese player who, from the very first session in this tournament, has impressed a lot of people. So latest scores around the arena. Of course, we started off on Wednesday morning with 16 tables. Now it is just 3. Mario He and John Morra, Austria against Canada, 5-5. And it's Batkowski and Sufi, Poland against Syria, 2-2. They were also seeing the completed matches from a little earlier on.
So when Shane left the 9 short of the pocket, it's costing 2 racks so far. That is what can happen in pool. That is the game of pool. Shane knows this. He knows this more than anyone. Duong to break as he leads 4 racks to 1. Cue ball, top left pocket, SVB, he's back out the chair. That's unfortunate.
Duong. I think this is not a forceful break, so next time I would ask you to put a bit more force in it, okay?
Okay, so to compound Hoang's problems, not just the scratch, you might have heard in the background there, the warning about the break has been issued. On reflection, I think the right decision has been made by Desislava Boshilova. She saw the break off, accepted it wasn't powerful enough, and had a word.
All the balls are sat okay. If the pink 4 goes past the 8, that's going to make life a lot easier for Shane. Yeah, I think it does. I think there's a gap there. The reason I say that is because it's easier to get from the red 3 to the 4 ball then. Is he coming to have a look now? Yep. is the time he's got to kick on now. He's got to clear the table here, try and get back in this match, put the pressure back over to his opponent. He's got an angle there, he could come past the 4. Yeah, just because he had that angle. Don't blame him, that's fine.
These are the kind of layouts that are almost bread and butter, almost routine for SVB. And if you've been watching all week, you will be astounded, no doubt, how the pace of play has been improved and quickened by the shot clock. Already one match gone on this table and another one well progressed. It makes pool flow, does the shot clock. And no one flows better than Shane Van Boening when he gets the bit between his teeth. Will the scratch be the invitation for a full-scale Van Boening recovery? He's 4-2 down now. So this is the roll of honour for the World 9-Ball Pool Championship over the last decade. We had a lot of events in Doha in Qatar. The likes of Darren Appleton, Torsten Holm and Niels Sveien, all stalwarts, all great European Mosconi Cup players. Ko Pin-Yi won in 2015 from Chinese Taipei. Albin Auschen, a twice winner in recent times in 2016 and again in Milton Keynes a couple of years ago when he overcame Omar Al-Shaheen in the final. As for Shane Van Boening, he's looking to go back-to-back and become only the second player in the tournament's history to do so.
The difference in breaks is worlds apart. Yeah, he's not got an easy shot on the 2, but forget that for a minute. He is absolutely crunching the sweet spot of the diamond. Look at the 1 ball. He gets the cue ball off the side into the 9. It's just break after the break. He might have to play a bank shot here. Oh, and the red 3 looks tied up as well, so this is messy.
Let's just pop in onto table 2. I think it's an unbelievable story. John Morra always played right-handed and very, very well also on the international scene, but then a neck problem made him change to left-handed, and there's no real difference. It's seamless. His father, I was talking about earlier, Mario, did play professional snooker left-handed. In the days when 147s weren't very prevalent, he nearly made one. He got to 125 and missed the brown against a very famous figure in snooker, Clive Everton, the former commentator.
You are winding back the clock there, Phil Yates, aren't you? Reliving your youth here at the World 9-Ball Pool Championships. Cue ball needs to keep bouncing for Duong Quoc. Did he make it? I think he did. Fantastic victory for John Morra yesterday over Jason Shaw. Jason Shaw will not be happy with his performance, that goes without saying, but Morra's going along nicely, as it will be this 9-ball to take a 2-rack lead. Van Boening is in trouble, kicking 2 rails, maybe 1.
Extension code.
Oh, Canada,
John Morra,
you're doing pretty well here, thanks to John Morra. 7-5 up on Mario He. He, not the man in that match yet.
Oh, what a great hit. What a great hit. Looks easy, but many a player would have missed that ball. Yeah, he's left the pot, but it's not all doom and gloom just yet for Shane because of the red 3.
extension code.
Well, he's took a gamble. He has took a gamble. Where's the cue ball? He's put the brakes on. I think he's got a stop button in his pocket. Shane? What's Shane doing? It's not often you see Shane like that. That's funny.
Someone must have left the chewing gum on the edge of the pocket.
Where's Jeremy Jones? Is he lurking around that arena? Well, he is hooked. And he's missed it.
Power shot.
He's missed the kick. Big moments in
Going
these
hand.
last 2 or 3 racks. We've seen it
Start the
all.
clock, please.
So what would be the technical term for that when you're snookered by the jaws? In snooker, they say you're angled. Is that the same thing here?
You know what they call it in America? Do you know?
I think I do, but I don't want you to tell me.
They call it titty hooked. That's what they call it in the States. That's their term. Like they call spin English. I'm not really sure why. I keep meaning to ask JJ.
Oh, well, we had this last night. We had this last night. Someone told us. Basically, it was because an Englishman went over to the States many, many, many moons ago, played a lot of shots with side, and that's why it's called English. Now, on table 3, Mohammed Sufi. He let out that yelp last night when he got over the line, didn't he, against Mika Immonen. He looks a very natural sort, doesn't he? Not ponderous whatsoever.
Yeah, he's got very unusual cue action. You were talking about snooker, a bit Joe Swale-esque there, hasn't he?
Yeah, so Sufi 4-2 up.
Shane Van Boening
As
wins
for
the rack.
this match, well, Shane Van Boening, yes, it was a little worrisome at times, that rack, but he wins it regardless, and now he's only 1 back. Hoang's lead reduced to 4-3. He looks stern, doesn't he, Shane? And I'll tell you why that is. He wants to win this so badly. He wants to win every tournament so badly. And when he's at the table, he's thinking of only one thing. Now, this is the draw, how it shapes up. Shane Van Boening or Hoang will go through to play Wu Kunlin in the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals, by the way, are taking place live this evening. Albin Auschen, he's through 11-3 over Mateusz Snigowski. That was comprehensive, and he will be a big favourite against either Badkowski or Sufi. Then it's Niels Feinor or Alexa Pachelsch against Mario He or John Morra. Chang Jun-Lin awaits Dennis Grabber or Francisco Sanchez Ruiz.
Oh, wow. We say it a lot, don't we, when Shane plays, but another fantastic break.
Yeah, that English, by the way, we didn't know what the answer to the question was, and Jeremy Jones had a couple of texts from his friends, and they gave us the knowledge. So yeah, an Englishman went to America, played a lot of very expensive shots using side spin, and that's why it's called English. That one's called a mistake.
Yeah, he's been going for his shots all week, so kind of don't blame him. But it's one way to just gift the rack back over to your opponent as you've clawed a couple back.
I'm not going to criticise Shane Van Boening's shot selection in any way, because when he is aggressive, that's when he's at his most potent. But the risk with playing aggressively is that if you are off and you're playing an opponent who's capable, who's efficient, then you can run into problems. And let me tell you folks, Hoang is capable. A 2-rack gap is re-established, and it's not in favour of the defending champion, Shane Van Boening.
If he's learnt his lesson. Yeah, you can see there's a bit more pace there. Oh, he's got a shot. He has a shot. Shane, he's not happy sat in the chair. It's all about timing, isn't it, sports? And when Shane missed a 9, Duong broke and ran the next rack. Shane's just gone for a bank, missed it, it's cost him a rack, and is it going to cost him the following rack?
Vietnam's footprint in 9-ball pool isn't an overnight thing by any means. The first ever World Cup of pool in Newport in Wales in 2006. Vietnam reached the semi-finals, had some good wins there, only losing 9-7, funnily enough, to the United States in the last 4. The United States on that occasion represented by Rodney Morris and Earl Strickland. Obviously, it wasn't Hoang who was playing. But Vietnam do have a presence on the international stage, and I think in him, they found a gem. Jeremy Jones was saying last night, Carl, and I think the logic is indisputable, that sometimes when you get warned for breaking too softly, it does you a favour. You get more gusto and the balls open up and you have an impetus.
Yeah, we did see that with Pagalayan, didn't we, against, I think it was Filler the first time they played out on the box. But, you know, this is just a case of Shane missing the 9, then he missed it. It was an awkward bank, of course, and at the minute he's just getting punished. It's not costing him that 1 rack, it's costing him a couple.
See JJ in there, can't get enough, can he? Willing on the last American standing.
Yeah, and I think at one point, Phil, America were doing okay in this event, you know. They had quite a lot that qualified, but yet again, in another major, SVB is the last man standing. This is a little short of pace. That angle there, it still looks easy, but this is thin. This is thin. Big shot coming up.
Extension, please.
What a shot, Phil.
Absolutely cool that was from Hoang. 6-3. Is Shane Van Boening's crown slipping? Now this is table 2. Mario He against John Morra. Getting ever closer to the winning line. He desperately trying to achieve parity.
Remember the semi-finals he lost against Albin for last season in the European Open. Completely made a mess of that match, so is he due a big win?
Well, he's back on level terms, and I think he's got the technique, certainly, to beat anyone in the world. I think he's one of the most underrated players out there.
That last break was a bit better, but it's still...
So 7-7 he and Morra.
To put power in it, okay?
Oh, now and another warning's coming.
And if you keep breaking soft, this is your official warning now. So if you do it again, I'll have to give ball in hand, okay? Just put power in it.
I just hope for his sake he fully understands. I think he does.
Duong Hoang to break, leading 6-3.
I mean, the last break was okay for me.
Well, this is an official warning, so if Tetszett deems that this break isn't up to muster, then it will be ball in hand.
That's okay.
That's fine. So clearly when she spoke to Hoang earlier, that was just a precautionary warning. This one was the real deal. Initially, it was a warning, you're going to be warned.
Well, he can play the push, but he's not playing the push, Phil. He's going full steam ahead, playing the jump. This is unusual, this. The cue ball is awfully close.
Extension code.
Well, 0 on the side of SVB for break and runs. That just doesn't happen. What an effort.
We applaud his enterprise, but will it backfire?
Can SVB cut this in? It's very thin, and it's going to be... Is it going to be awkward to control the cue ball? Can he miss the pink 4 and send the cue ball round to play the red in the same pocket as the 2? That's okay. Yeah, there's distance, but at least he's got on the right side of the table. Need to bear down on this one though. He's got to hit it pretty firm to get the cue ball out. Oh, right in the centre of the pocket. He knows this game is starting to slip away. He's getting to the dangerous part of a match, the end of the match, so all these little mistakes now are magnified.
Always good to have a Cinderella story in a World Championship, and that is currently going on table 3. Mohammed Sufi from Syria taking advantage of a scratch.
Sorry, Phil, I was just going to say, he doesn't hang around, does he? He just gets on with it.
Simultaneous 9 balls. Sufi's is quick as you like. Van Boening just slightly more cautious, identifying the importance of that ball. He's back within 2. Hoang leads 6-4, and that decision to jump, well, it cost him. So just to keep you right up to date with the scores here, we know about Hoang's 6-4 lead. Mohammed Sufi from Syria leads Sebastian Batkowski from right here in Poland 4-3, and it's 7-7 Mario He and John Morra over on table 2. Sufi, when he addresses the ball, hits the shot almost immediately. He's such a quick sighter.
Yeah, and I think because he's found himself deep in this event, 11, I think he's just really enjoying his time here, isn't he? He's just getting on with it, playing his natural game. He's a danger. SVB the break. This is a thing of beauty. Where's the cue ball? But it's messy.
when that thunderous break is working.
Push out, coach.
That's premium efficiency. Watch out the rest of the field, but so far in this match, the normal fluency, that succession of racks he can put together hasn't been in evidence. Had to push out there. Big rack this, very big rack. Let me quickly tell you, Mohamed Soufi, 5-3 up on Batkovsky.
So Shane rolled the cue ball there. Let's see what he's got in mind. Yeah, he can roll the ball in, he can pot it, but we all know the cue ball's running away from the blue 2 ball.
Didn't take his extension, waited until there was 2 seconds left, and then said, I want it.
I think he's playing safe here. No, he's played the pot and then he's going to play the bank shot. But the 3's in a horrible position. So it's going to be the safety shot on the 3. This is tricky moments now coming up for Shane. Oh, the cross band was on. Didn't see that one. This is going to work out okay. He's really going for the shots, is Shane.
If you recall the 8th rack, he missed a much more routine bank on the 3 than that. That one's flashed in with shape on the 4. Now over on table 3, Mohamed Soufi has just missed the 9 ball. So too has Batkovsky.
Is it all getting a little too much for Sebastian? All eyes are on him. This has been a wonderful rack from Shane at 6-4 down. This is what he brings to the table in a game of 9 ball. He plays it different to everybody else. Soufi has missed a 9 and he's scratched, so that match is gonna go all the way, you feel.
3 missed 9 balls in succession on table 3 with ball in hand. Batkovsky has the simplest task to draw back within 1. Those 2 words, Carl, simple task, could never be applied to running out in this rack.
No, this for me is SVB's best rack of this year's championships.
Shane Van Boening wins the rack.
And as you say, it's all about the timing of that thrust, and now he's only 1 behind. Hoang's lead is 6-5. Here is table 2. Things are really hotting up. John Morra, in goes the 9, as we
wins the rack.
Always suspected it would. 8-8 with Mario He. So a race to 11. Best of 21 starting out now. Distilled to a best of 5. Hard to predict a winner there, Morra.
This is what happens once we go from the 1-8 down to the 64, the 32. The 16's the quarters, because you're getting quality versus quality. This really builds up for good, close matches.
Now, are we going to see a Shane Van Boening special?
He's Stuart Golden, isn't he? he likes to throw a golden break in now and again. Look at this, he's just crunching the break. I mean, this is just obscene breaking.
Well, where the balls have finished here, it looks as though he's got hold of the table and tipped it up slightly.
Can he get through to that potting angle? The overhead looks like he can. Can he get there? He can. This will cut in the top left corner. He may have to play it quite slow. The reason I say that is because the next ball's the 7. And that's near the cue ball. If he can pot this and... No, I think he's going to play it quite slow. Maybe he can come off the back rail. Yeah, he can come off the back rail. There's the cue ball now. No heroics. Just make sure you find that rail and bounce out a little bit. Didn't push the boat out there. Didn't try to come off the back rail further up the table. He just knew, make sure you pot the ball and leave yourself a shot. Big rack this now. It's all about this 7 ball. Not had a break and run yet, I don't believe, Phil, SVB.
You knew there was always going to be a first. The way he's playing, it's a high wire act. There's no safety net. Lose, you go home. It's all about getting to the quarter-final of the World 9-Ball Championship. And the defending champion is holding strong. Some really enterprising pool, some really attacking pool. Normally at this stage, Shane van Boening is dominating. He's not been in front yet. Is this the moment he makes his move?
It's not a road map. He's got work to do with the red 3. He could play a combo onto the 8 ball. That's probably going to be his choice if he can get down there. Yeah, it looks like he can pot this ball, come off the top rail, and it's the type of thing where you want the cue ball as close to the red ball as possible. You want to make this combo easy. Needs this to slow down.
Well, we knew his break would be superior to that of his opponent. I think it's superior to any opponent he comes up against. But it's not all about the break-off, and he's made a couple of errors mid-rack or right at the end of the rack. The missed bank on the 3 ball in the 8th, most glaringly when he left the 9 ball short with that thin cut
Extension, please.
to top corner in the 4th.
Great shot. Great shot. They look easy, but they are awkward them. Still got to find that point on the 8 where you want. You know, you're so used to just naturally aiming for a pocket. When you have to play a ball onto another ball, just always feels awkward.
We know that cheer by now. It is to herald a success for Bartkowski on table 3. That match is back and forth. This one, well, you can sense the feeling that Van Boening is now asserting his authority, his considerable authority.
Shane Van Boening wins the rack.
Shane Van Boening led, well, never until now. He was 4-1 down, 6-3 down. Now, though, he's 7-6 in front. Has he broken the back of this contest? We'll find out in the forthcoming moments. Now, John Morra, the newfound lefty from Canada, looking to reach the hill. I thought last night when he got to the real crunch of the match against Jason Shaw, he was very cool and very composed. That's what he needs here.
Yeah, that's his character. You can just tell by his demeanour. You know, he's not going to rush. He's going to make sure he's right in the shot. You know, here you can see now. This is just different styles of play. There's nothing wrong with this. He's been around a long time. He's been known to play a lot of arranged challenge matches. So he's used to playing in big moments.
After this, he'll be one rack away.
John Morra wins the rack.
One rack away from the quarterfinals because he leads Mario He 10-8. As for table 3, Batkovsky against Mohamed Sufi, 5-5.
SVB will 100% play the bank shot. Cuba wants to come away from the 8. That's okay. It's not what he played. That's why he's pulling funny faces, but at least he's got a shot.
Extension, please.
This is all about the pot. Just pull the cue ball over to the left. Even that is just borderline ridiculous. To just keep firing them in difficult, they're not easy. You know, when you're unleashing your back arm and playing it with such power, well, he's probably the best in the world at that type of shot.
In his first match against Masato Yoshioka, he broke and ran 5 consecutive racks. That was the template. And he's remained in aggressive mode ever since. Confirmation, table 3 is 5-5.
Extension.
And confirmation from Van Boning's expression, he's not best pleased. Wanted to keep the 7-ball simple. It wasn't. Had to apply a lot of side, but now he's ideal on the 8. He's a giant of the game, Carl Boys, and we're seeing exactly why here.
Yeah, this has been special. It really has. He was under the gun. This match is tied at 5-5. Sufi likes to get on with it. He doesn't hang around. Look, it's almost like he's got a bus to catch.
He gets down sights and the shot's played in a blur. Back in front at 6-5. I think it's fair to say it's unconventional, Carl.
Well, it just looks like he's in the local bar playing pool. (8-6) SVB with another fantastic break. He's going to get a shot on this in the side.
break of SVB is such a weapon. It can completely alter matches and demoralise opponents.
Yeah, when he was trailing 6-4 and he played a push out and tempted Duong into a shot, and he turned it down, but Shane cleared the table to get to one behind, and it was a brilliant clearance, it really was. Now he's doing what he always does. He's putting a package together.
The skill set is so advanced, isn't it? If I was in the other chair, even if you're a really good player, you're in the other chair and you're thinking, he can do stuff I can't.
Yeah, and it's not just things on the pool table. It's your decision making, isn't it? It's the rollout, the push outs. It's been tempting into things, knowing that he's probably going to go full steam ahead at a shot, and it's probably something that you don't really fancy. It's all angles though, isn't it, Phil? Big steep angles. Get it into a big area. Give me a shot. Needs to miss the 9. Yep, that's okay. It's going to be 9-6. The champ's on 1.
Shane Van Boening wins
This match has been totally transformed by the supreme skill, not of that man, but of Shane Van Boening. Hoang now trailing by 9-6. He's only 2 racks away from defeat, having led 6-3. Now back to table 3. What a contest this is. Thrust and counter thrust. Sufi at the moment in front. Batkovsky looking to equalise, and with a chance to do so, Carl.
He's got the hopes of the building on him.
Extension.
This isn't just a World Championships. He's not just playing for himself. He's playing for about 150 people all crowding round table 3. And he knows each 9 he pots, the building erupts.
128 players came to contest this event. 13 of them were Polish. So many fine players from this country. Who would have thought that Sebastian Batkovsky would be the last player from the home nation in with a chance of lifting this title? Oh, where's the wide for Shane Van Boening? Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me.
That's part of the game. You know, he makes golden breaks. Sometimes you get a shot on the break, sometimes you don't. And sometimes the pool gods are against you and the cue ball gets kicked in. This is what creates the drama. Hoang can get back in this match. We are in for a tight finish. All 3 tables are close. Don't know where to look. There's also stories on every table. We've got John Morra, used to play right-handed, now plays left. Mario He, desperate for a big title. He's been so close. SVB, trying to defend. Albin, trying to be the first player to win 3.
Numerous narratives.
Listen to the noise. It's about to go off.
Batkovsky and Sufi again inseparable at 6-6. John Morra's lead over Mario He reduced to 10-9, I can tell you, on table 2. And the lead of Shane Van Boening is about to be reduced
Quoc,
through
Hoang
no
wins the
fault of
round.
his own. The cue ball was scratched by Shane van Boening. Is that the lifeline that Hoang so badly needed? 9-7 now.
Can John Morrow pot the red 3? He's on the hill. This may tell us. No, I don't think he can. Playing safe. Has he left a gap? Or is the 9 going to cover? It's tight.
It's tense in multiple spots in this large arena.
Cue ball's close. Ooh, just goes high. But he does have a shot. He has a shot on this 2. Well, Jeremy Jones has just told me if you remember where John Morrow left the cue ball, Mario walked around the table with 2 cues. Apparently he jumped that ball in, so Mario's still at the table. Is the 2 reached? That's the 2 reached! Ooh, nervy times there.
That wasn't a soft break, that was a soft pot. Almost too soft. Wow. On the lip. Flopping in. He's jumped the 3 ball in. This is awkward queuing. Oh, beautiful shot. What a shot that is when you're facing defeat. That was it. It was just wonderful given the juncture of the match. One of the shots of the championship, given its significance.
John Morrow won his last match against Jason Shaw, Hill. He showed he can handle it, and he's got to handle another.
Yeah, one big difference though, Carl. He was breaking in that decider against Shaw. This time it will be he who gets to break, because with that 9 ball, he's back on level terms. It's gone all the way down to the wire on table 2. Who's to say this won't go the distance as well? Van Boning's scratch on the break in rack 16. Well, that could be very important indeed. Try and draw level.
Well, he does have a shot on the 2, and there may be a 3-9 combo available. We'll have another look where it finishes, but you can see it tracking up. It's definitely close. If he can get the cue ball onto the right-hand side of the table, he will clearly do that. It's not quite set. Just depends on what angle he's got. playing the combo. He may have to play for the pot though, because he's not come far enough on the left side of the table. He had to land low, or definitely further to the left.
Extension, please.
Yeah, he's playing it to the bottom left. Cue ball's going to be crashing into the 9. He's going to try and soft draw off it. He's got to be careful he doesn't hook himself behind the brown 7.
Good call, Carl, and he has. He has. Look at that, the 7 intruding.
Yeah, at first I did think it pulled up, but there you see, he has hooked himself. It's not the most difficult of jump shots if he can reach it. And there you see, he's made it. This looks like it's about to go 9-9. Just one more good shot required to get on the right side of the 7, but the 8 goes in either of the left corner pockets. Both players on table 2 have had visits to the table, but it's Mario He who's got this chance for the match. And this was the 5 ball. It was a good one. It was a fortunate kiss, but he had to take it on.
What a turn of events on table 1. Van Boening 9-6 ahead. He looked all over the winner. Had a ton of momentum. No, though, they are level once again. Hoang will not go away. The defending champion has been hauled back.
Mario for the combo. It's there. He's done it. He wins a Hill Classic. Unlucky John Morra, but the delight is there. Mario is through to another major quarter-final, but this one is the biggest of them all.
What a way to complete victory, that combination. And now Super Mario will take on either Alexa Pachelsch or Neil Svein in the last 8. Lots of distance between the balls, Carl, but that 9 was near the pocket and he did not fail.
Track 19. Quoc, 3. 9 racks each.
Now, what a contest this is.
Nine ball was close. Can he see the potting angle? It's the blue 2.
The passage is clear to the pocket. He's not wilting, is he?
No, that's a good shot. Shane's going to have to go off the side rail, but he's got it far enough away from the pocket where this is so hard to pot.
Extension, please.
He's trying to pot this in the corner. If he does, he's not going to land on the 3, so he's going to have to play this hard. Oh, what a shot. What a shot this is. Is the cue ball going to get there? It is. That is absolutely scandalous.
A stroke of genius.
The fact that the 2 was nowhere near the pocket, I just didn't fancy his chances there. What a shot.
And like all outstanding sportsmen in any field, not just excellent, outstanding under pressure. It's all very well, Carl, having a wide array of shots if you can't employ them when the pressure is most intense. Van Boening has got a wonderful arsenal of shots, defensive and occasionally, just occasionally attacking. But the thing is, he's not afraid to use them, and he uses them to great effect when he needs them most.
He really has pulled out a couple of huge racks in this match so far. Obviously this match is not over by any stretch, but he's going to be the first player on the hill, and he will be breaking, let's not forget.
And his break means something, an awful lot. How can you not admire Shane Van Boening? It was a wonderful shot to get in, and then he didn't fail when he was in. The lead restored at 10-9. So Mario He is through to the quarterfinals already with that combination. And just a moment or so ago, we got an interview with the Austrian.
Mario, well done. You've had a lot of drama already in this championship. That was a bit more. Tell us about the match.
It was crazy. It was really crazy. I think the craziest match I played this World Championship. Yesterday was already tough, but this one was, I struggled in the beginning, fought back. He was playing good in the end, and I was down, and I had 1-2 lucky situations like going my way, and this helped me. And on 10-8, I think, to 10-10, I was like so nervous. Every shot was like, okay, the shot clock seemed like 10 seconds, not 30 seconds. But somehow I managed to clear the table.
Tell us about that final rack. So much happened even in those few minutes.
Yeah, he was playing a lot of safeties. I was playing, it was a tricky situation. It was not an easy run out. So even if I give him ball in hand or he gave me the ball in hand, it was very tricky to end the game. So it was a lot of safeties, and in the end, I didn't think that he should play the safety, or I don't know, but I was wondering that he played the safety and gave me another chance.
Where do you feel you're at now with your game in terms of how well you need to play to win this championship? Or do you see it just as a matter of staying in it and producing your best towards the end?
Well, I'm not thinking about winning it, you know. I just try to stay in the tournament, you know, as long as possible and play good. That's the most important thing for me. And, well, you know, on the final day, maybe I will think about it. But right now, I'm happy to win here and focus for my next match today.
Super, Mario. Into the last 8. We'll see you tonight. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
SVB. He's playing safe 9 ball for cover. Yes, that's okay, Phil. That is okay.
He chooses to be attacking, but the point is, when he needs defence, it's all there.
Going to be going airborne here, I believe. He's got the short stick in his hand. Anything can happen when the short stick is pulled out. Players always jump over the ball now in the modern era. That's not really that difficult at this level.
Extension, please.
So you fancy he's going to hit the one. What's going to happen after it? Who knows? It's there, the jump bank. I think he was trying to get the cue ball in behind the 6. Because it didn't go behind the 6, he does have a pot on the 2. It's a nervy one, this though. There's distance. Got to avoid the 9 and the purple 5 as well. Oh, he's done well here. He has done well here. Are we going to see another hill?
That was excellent, wasn't it? Excellent. His heart would have been in his mouth there. Van Boening would have been given a false hope. The 3 just about went in.
Can he draw the cue ball straight back? Yes, he can.
Remember, 73rd in the 9-ball ranking, 68th seed here at the World Pool Championship, and yet he looks like a seasoned tournament winner at the very highest level. So many players fall victim to nerves. He hasn't. Far from it. Duong, Quoc, Hoang has taken Shane Van Boening all the way. And what's more, he now breaks in the deciding rack. What a story brewing here. Glum of South Dakota. Now, over on table 3, a couple of moments ago, you might have gathered the crowd were a little more subdued, and this is the reason why. Mohamed Soufi gaining some daylight over Sebastian Bartkowski. Soufi now leads 9-7. The winner of that match, by the way, will take on Albin Auschen in the quarterfinals. No drama for Auschen today. A comprehensive 11-3 winner over Matthias Snigonski. So here we go.
Don't forget you have a warning. We're ready now.
Yeah, I think Desi just doesn't want, you know, at Hill.
The deciding rack.
Anything silly to happen, so just make sure you give him a good old break. Hill, defending champion. He's up against it. He does not have the break. Duong Quoc, he's breaking for the match and a place in the quarterfinals. The cue ball looked like it was going in the pocket. The pool gods have been on the American side to a degree. We got action in the final rack.
Mohamed Soufi does not hang around It is now 10-7 for the Syrian. Just a smattering of applause. He's on the hill.
Tying the 3-ball up.
Back to Duong.
Can't really blame Shane there. There's no real obvious shot on at first glance. Good effort, good shot. This rack is all based on that red 3-ball.
The crown of Van Boening. Is it about to slip? He will do everything in his considerable powers
Extension,
to
please.
avoid that.
Cue ball will be tracking over towards the green. That will keep the purple 5 tight on the rail. So there's no pressure on the object ball. Jump cue is coming out. He's used his extension as well. It's all about this 3, isn't it? Can he pop the 5 and roll the 2 down table to leave an angle to knock the 3-9 out? He's looking at trying to do it now, but that feels a bit more guessy.
Extension, please.
He's trying to pot the 5 and move the 3-9 out. Just missed it. Where's it going to finish? Where's it going to finish? Wasn't the worst of efforts, was it? It was so close. Can he see an edge? He's got the jump cue. If he does pot this. Got here. What have we got here?
Overshadowed on table 3, but the Polish hope, Bartkowski, is at the table looking to reduce the deficit by another rack to 10-8. But the big news is table 1. The massive news.
It's a valid effort, really, there from Duong.
Well, I'm glad that 9 ball has gone in to give us the opportunity to fully concentrate on Van Boening.
He was trying to make the 6. He was trying to make the 6. And this is a chance now. Of course, it's not going to be easy. It's the last rack. There's a lot of pressure out there, but this is a chance now.
Life on the edge. You fly thousands of miles to pursue your dream, and it's all about a millimetre. He's feeling it.
I mean, it should just never go in. It's that simple. It should just never go in.
Shane van Boening has looked so good here in Kielce, Poland all week. But is his dream of successfully defending about to die? You have to believe so.
He's perfect on the 8. Just roll the cue ball through. And the champ is out.
The valiant Vietnamese is victorious.